Alright, you guys, welcome back to the channel. Here for some more Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 Future Saga Chapter 4, also known as DLC Pack 21. We're finally going to be talking about the trailer. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for me to do this, but I've been busy covering the other games, so thanks for being patient. We're going to be doing this complete breakdown, and one thing I want to mention before we start, I just find it so epic how Dimps was able to support Xenoverse 2 for a whole decade. And the reason why they're not going to be supporting this game anymore is because of the next installments of the franchise. They confirmed Xenoverse 3 and they're doing everything right. I'm happy that Xenoverse 2 is ending, but at the same time, I guess you could say it's a bittersweet moment just because we've stuck with this game for so long. However, on the other side of the spectrum, we are getting that brand new Xenoverse 3. We're opening the doors to the next chapter, and I'm here for it. If any of you guys are worried about the future of Xenoverse 2 when Xenoverse 3 drops, don't. Just because if we take a look at Xenoverse 1, for example, the servers are still up with players roaming around Toki City. So whenever Xenoverse 3 does drop, I'm sure the servers will still be alive. I mean, I think that's pretty dang evidence. They're still going to be doing the weekly updates with the tournaments, Time Patrol Metal Shop items, raids, all of that good stuff. It's just that the Kantan City is not going to be as lively because of Xenoverse 3. Still going to be around though, so fear not. They made it clear, however, that this is going to be the final DLC. Perfect segue to get into the trailer finally. So without further ado, make sure to drop a like, turn on post notifications, subscribe if you're new around here. I will greatly appreciate it. And we start things off with Trunks talking to the CAC, to us pretty much.
It has been a while, huh? We've been through so much, more than I think we ever expected.
That is 1000% an understatement. He said more than I ever expected, because back in 2019, I think they weren't supposed to support Xenoverse 2 via DLCs. You guys remember with Ultra Pack 2, also known as DLC Pack 10, we got the end of Z Saga. They said that Xenoverse 2 is coming to a close, but they realized how much money the DLCs were bringing in, so they made the business decision and said, why not just keep pumping out DLCs until Xenoverse 3 drops, which is what they're currently doing right now. Back in 2019, around the same time as the supposedly last DLC, they started development time with Xenoverse 3. The timeline does add up because at Gengitama Matsuri, Hirano-san, the producer of all Dragon Ball games, I believe, did say that they started development for Xenoverse 3 around 6 to 7 years ago, which falls under the 2019-2020 era. I do digress. Moving forward, I just like how they're going through the hero side of things with a blue color theme, then the transition over to the USV villain sides, just going over the story cinematic cutscenes. And Trunks says something extremely scary over here, I guess. It kind of sounds like it's going to be the end of the Time Patrollers or himself. He wants us to take care of history.
History, the future, protect it all.
We do see a USV Supreme Kai of Time, so I feel like within the story mode itself, this part with Trunks is after she gets consumed by the evil energy, and maybe Trunks doesn't necessarily know what to do. He's saying that we don't have enough time, we could all be gone, or maybe Fu is going to be erasing the entire timeline, because we have been theorizing, does Xenoverse 2, specifically Future Saga chapters, do they lead over to Xenoverse 3? Because when we take a look at the trailer, it seems completely different. We're not necessarily in a hub world, we're not time patrollers, we're just in the normal Dragon Ball world, just set during the age period 1000. This is why I'm so looking forward to Future Saga Chapter 4, because how does this lead over to Xenoverse 3 when it seems completely different? Something is going to be going down with the timeline. It's going to be erasing an alternate universe. So who knows, man? Fu has been gathering energy. All-out war, villains versus hero. This is the finale, man.
History, the future, protect it all.
You know what would be extremely epic? If we have the chance to see our Xenoverse 2 CAC over in Xenoverse 3, just because something like that happened with this story campaign, right? We got to see Ace the Xenoverse 1 mascot or the character that you created. Don't exactly know how the Chapter 4 Saga story will play out, or even Xenoverse 3, obviously, but I'm just going to be spitballing here, speculating. What if this is our final mission? Because Trunks sounds extremely desperate. He says, the history, the future, protect it all. What if we're the sole survivor and our last mission is to time travel over to age 1000, relay the message that Trunks wrote down on the script or whatever. Don't know who will be relaying that information to. Maybe Bulma or something, because that's Trunks' mother. I could be onto something. She has the Great Salmon Squad intact, even though they may not be as strong as Time Patrollers. I don't know where I'm going with this. Don't know what Bulma could possibly do with that message, but what if there is a larger threat on the horizon? Man, oh man, let me cook. Don't let me cook, because it actually doesn't make sense. If age 1000 is way further in the future from Xenoverse 2, because Xenoverse 2 takes place during age 851, age 52. So if age 1000, the future is intact, you know, nothing's going on, then that means the problem here within Future Saga Chapter 4, everything seems to be resolved at the very end. So everything I just said, never mind, but we could only speculate and come up with cool theories that probably don't make sense. It's all fun at the end of the day. So we do see some characters returning. Hit. This is actually technically our first time seeing him being consumed by the USV power boost, just because in Chapter 1 he was faking it, right? With USV Goku Black, he thought he got him, but nah, he just got sucker punched in the face because Hit did his time skip thing and he just overpowered the evil energy somehow. Shoutouts to Hit. Jiren on the right side of the screen, I feel bad for him, bro. This is his second time. He just got done being the villain in Chapter 2. Which, by the way, this final war boss battle scene, how are we supposed to defeat all of them at once if 4 God of Destructions, or was it 3? Yeah, 3 GODs, Topo, Dispo, UI Goku barely handled USV Jiren. Now he has comrades on his side. Hits, very formidable warrior. More enemies will be popping in that we'll see here in the trailer. How are we supposed to win this? This truly is Infinity War, where we actually lose. So cool, dude. Supreme Kai of Time USV power-up, which technically we've seen before with Frieza, right? Because he had 3 power boosts. His Golden Transformation, USV with the crystal, and he made the wish with Shenron, grant me the Supreme Kai of Time power. So it's just some similarities there. But is she going to be one of the playable characters? Just because going back to the other chapter DLCs, one, we got USV God Vegeta and USV Goku Black. And whenever we see a fully transformed USV character with the crystal, we usually have them as a playable character. Future Saga Chapter 2 with Jiren, and then Chapter 3 with USV Golden Frieza. So she very well could be a playable character, which, if I'm just being honest, not too hyped for me. Her original character, cool, the super attacks, nice, but just not hyped in my personal opinion. However, it does make sense for the final story, just to make things a bit more interesting, to progress all of that. They did all the big bad villains, Jiren, Vegeta, not necessarily villains, but you know what I mean, Frieza, Goku Black. So what could they possibly do this time around? Oh, let's get Supreme Kai of Time. She's an important character, which again, it could be very interesting for this story. So that's why I'm like 50-50. Story-wise, could be devastating. Playable DLC character-wise, and not too hyped, but imagine her original powers with the corrupted mindset that she's going to have because of the USV. Is she the one that's causing chaos to the timeline? Is she going to be the one that destroys it? Not even few? Oh my days. You see what I mean? I ain't delusion. I'm not delusional. The story could be even crazier with her corrupted powers. We also have another potential character that's shown at the end of this trailer. More of a transformation, but we'll get to that soon. Vera could be a sneak peek there. Other returning villains, Cell, which we've seen from Chapter 1, right, when he got consumed. Kid Buu from previous DLCs and the main game. Cooler, that's a new one. Well, no, yeah, he was also part of the original game. The Frieza Saga, when he teamed up with Frieza. He's back. He's back, y'all. But I guess you could say this time around with the new and improved USV power boost, because during the Frieza Saga, it was just the normal Towa and Mira one, I think, stage 2. Speaking of Towa and Mira, they're right there. What the heck? They were the main antagonists for the entire vanilla campaign. Now they're just being spawned in as mere pawns? Excuse me? They were the goats. Now look at them. Somebody else controlling them. Be like, hey, you want part of this war? Come on in. I'll invite you. That's just kind of weird. So is there going to be an even larger threat that we don't know? Do keep in mind, this is the teaser trailer. We still have that launch trailer where they're going to be revealing even more content. But it would be cool if there is like a super hidden mysterious villain, but I don't think that's the case. It's just few doing all of this. Android 17 and 18, seen them before as well. They're making a comeback. So far, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 villains versus the heroes. And we have all of them right there. Every character that you see up on screen was part of a DLC story campaign segment, right? They all had their animated cutscenes. Kefla and Kao with the fusion, even part of Chapter 1, Tapion, original game, and the Future Trunks cutscene, Pycon with the Janemba, Dispo with the Kid Buu era, and Deborah. Wait, actually, Tien, Yamcha, and Krillin. Have we seen them part of the CGI cutscenes before? Can't quite remember. Anyway, they're all here. Heroes versus villains. We do have more heroes than villains, but I mean, Yamcha, Krillin, Tien, those guys are epic, but their power levels, how are they supposed to go up against a fully transformed USV Kura? You know? Hey, shout out to the goats nonetheless.
Now, the final battle begins now.
The final battle begins now. Which, by the way, this could be a potential new stage, which seems like an inverted color theme of the original Crystal Realm. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. What is this? The gateway to multiple dimensions? I don't know. Why did it change like that? Maybe Few did something to the place. Because every time we see Few in the DLCs, he's always here, right? Just talking to himself, figuring out what he's going to be doing. But yeah, now it's just slightly different.
Now, the final battle begins.
Tell him, Few. Tell him. Not gonna lie, without Few, Xenoverse would have ended ages ago. And here, something similar to the beginning where it's just going through the story campaign. However, something sinister is on the horizon. We have this ominous smoke seeping through, kind of, I guess it seems like it's erasing the past or stuff that we've just been through, the timeline, right? We have this distorted TVs kind of evaporating from existence. Shout out to Super Vegito. He's the GOAT, y'all. He the GOAT for real. This cool spirally universe effect going on. But it ain't over yet. It ain't over yet. We have one more hero that will save us all, the main protagonist in all of Dragon Ball. Goku with the USH power boost right here. So the TVs were disappearing. Now they're coming back. You know what I mean? I see the signs. They're coming back because Goku is going to be saving the day as per usual with that green energy. Shout outs to Supreme Kai of Time. She probably has something to do with this as well, because going back to Future Saga Chapter 3, right? The battle with Few and USV Golden Frieza. Frieza, whenever he tried to do his time warpy power boost dimension thing, we would get this purple outline over the screen. But then Supreme Kai of Time, being the GOAT, because she's been an actual Supreme Kai of Time, she knows how to counter the time energy. She put this green aura over us to help us and protect us, right? So I feel like that's going to be the same thing over here with Goku. We see him with the new transformation. Now, I just find it interesting how Goku was able to get consumed in the first place, because within the giant bluish spherical sphere, we see the purple energy, right? So maybe at one point he does get consumed by few, and maybe he does get the crystal, but Supreme Kai of Time, probably, I'm just speculating over here, comes in and helps Goku out with her powers, and we get this new transformation. Or maybe Goku's just being the GOAT and figures out how to overcome the USV by himself, right? And then kind of transfers that USV energy to something good. USH, Ultra Superhero. And new outfit going on around here.
This power, it's different from any I've ever had.
This power, it's different from anything I've ever had. Bro has the power of the angels and he's saying all that? Come on now. But I like it. UI Goku with this double energy going on. Now, it kind of makes sense to me just because we've seen Vegeta with the evil aura, USV. Now, I'm assuming Goku is going to be a playable character, but with this transformation boost. So, potential 2 characters for the actual DLC, Supreme Kai of Time, Crystal Edition, and Goku over here, opposite edition with the green aura. And the outfit, it is damaged, something that we haven't seen in Xenoverse 2, like, at all. Whoa, that better be a playable outfit variation. And matter of fact, just included part of the Goku partner customization as well, because why not? We need this outfit for all the Gokus.
It's different from any I've ever had.
I like the eye right here. You can still slightly see the hint of magenta from the original source, but the eyes, maybe he's just mid-transformation right now. It's glowing green. Seems like there's multiple synergies going on. This summer, the last patrol begins. Hey, that's kind of hype though. The last patrol begins just because, again, in Xenoverse 3, we aren't time patrollers, y'all. We're Great Saiyaman Squadron. This summer, which I've mentioned something before, I'm presuming July of 2026. According to the Steam page, it's been said quarter 3, July, August, and or September. We've waited months already ever since chapter 3, so July just makes the most sense to me. And that's about it. Now, something interesting, the sword, that's the symbol. For the other ones, it was the crystal, the time ring, and Dragon Ball, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. At the end of chapter 3, remember Time Patrol Trunks shoots Few with the Ki Blast, and then Few drops the sword? So do we have the sword, or am I missing something? Because also, at the end of the cutscene, we see Few spawning in a brand new sword. So is that just like a copy of his original one? I'm assuming not, because he is extremely strong, so he probably just teleported the sword that Trunks picked up over to him, because why not? I guess there is one more thing I slightly want to talk about. I will be doing a completely different video, but an Awoken skill. We do see Goku with the new transformation here, but what about our CACs? Of course, we get all these skills from the DLC characters, Supers, Ultimates, but what about this transformation from Goku? That would be kind of nice, right? They have to end this final DLC pack with an additional Awoken skill. I'm sure Bandai and Dimps know how much we like getting a brand new transformation for our CACs, and plus, since this is not necessarily Saiyan exclusive, this could go over all the CAC races. Friezas, Namekians, Majins, and humans. So everybody will be happy with this transformation. At the same time, I would also like to see Super Saiyan 4. Please, please, give us 2 transformations. Why not? Well, to be fair, they said that this was the final DLC. And the Awoken skills are part of the free update. So, hey man, free updates after the final DLC with more transformations perhaps? Probably not, because we usually get those free updates, the major ones at least, a day before the paid DLC, right? They update the game for the DLC. So I just wanted to bring that up a little bit. Again, stay tuned to the actual Awoken Skills Xenoverse 2 video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace!